It's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns and, well, getting beautiful. Yeah. Atlanta, Georgia. Today is August the 10th, 2023, and boy did it rain this morning. Right now it's 11:35 and I got a full slam day that I need to be out here mowing. And as you see, haven't even put the mower on the truck yet because, well, it's still wet. So normally my rule is when it gets to the point where the street and the concrete are almost dry, then I'll get out there and mow. But let me show you, I don't know how much rain we got, but it's enough to where it started pooling up here. This is kind of my gauge here. But that's okay, we need the rain. God brings the rain, causes the grass to grow, and then we mow, making that mowing money. All right, so on today's video, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about the 4 trimmer lines that I have been testing out the last 2 months or so. And I want to give you my thoughts on them, tell you if I like them, if I don't like them, etc., etc. So if you have been following my channel at all, you know that this is my all-time favorite trimmer line. This is the Low Noise, and this is like a round twisted, it's actually spiral, I think they call it. Stuff is really, really good. The reason I like it, it's very durable. Now this is the point, all this line that I'm talking about right now is going to be the .130. I use that in my Speed Feed 450 and 500s. If you have, I'm getting dripped on. Who put them drops right there? Anyway, we ain't talking about that. So the 450 and 500s allow me to use the Edge It Pro with the .130 line, and it's extremely beneficial when you're using your trimmer to edge, and also when you're wanting to demolish weeds. It works really, really good. So I have used thousands, probably thousands of feet of this. I've been using this for several years, and it's my all-time favorite line. That is what I basically kind of judge everything by. It's a great trimmer line. I don't know if I've used it as a .095. I'm not sure, because on one of these lines there is a difference between the .095 and the 130. I'm just going to say 95 and the 130. All right, so the first one that we have is the rotary. This is just the round red commercial line. Not my favorite line at all. Okay, so this line, its advantages are, the advantages of this line are it's a very durable line. I know I've seen videos of people talking about the trimmer line flies straight and this and that. You know, an 1/8 or a 1/4 inch is not going to make a bit of difference, especially if you're running longer lines. I don't have problem with line control on my trimmer, so it's kind of a non-issue. Does it cut the weeds? Does it make a nice straight edge using the Edge It Pro? That's basically what I'm looking at. So this line is durable. It's not very, because it's round, it's not very good on super thick weeds. Like I don't know. I don't have that kind of stuff in my yard, but it's not that great on it. It does great doing the edge against the curb. It's very durable against fences. It's very durable. This is a hard line. The line is hard, but it's not brittle. So we've got that line. Now we have what I want to talk about is the rotary. This is the square, the diamond cut line right here. And then its brother, I'm going to call it its brother, is the this is the green rotary line. And these almost seem like they're identical. You would think one is just square and green, and one is just square and orange. Couldn't be further from the truth. Of these two lines, this is by far, in my opinion, the better line. The reason is because the line, this thing cuts like a madman. It cuts like a scalpel. Now, what I don't like about that line is it doesn't last very good against hard surfaces. It does great edging, but I go through a lot more line than I would, let's say, with the red. But it does great, and it just demolishes weeds. It's good. So if I was ever if I had a huge area to do that had really, really tough, thick weeds, this guy right here is gonna cut. It cuts better than the low noise and the thick stuff. It's a pretty loud line. The line hisses, which I like the line to hiss because I can tell audibly that I need to advance the line a little more. Now, this right here, the green rotary, and it's weird how they call this the quad trimmer line, and this one they call the diamond cut. They're square lines. And when I looked at them, I'm like, oh, one's just green and one's just orange. But the green line is not as, it tends to want to suck the trimmer down on the grass. Because Bermuda, we're cutting at around 2 inches or so. If I'm edging, like up against like a rock face or something, or against a border, a flower bed border, and I'm trying to kind of cut level or at a slight angle, it tends to want to suck the trimmer down and can scalp. This doesn't, ironically, it doesn't cut as good as the orange line. I think some of it has to do with the materials it's made out of. Maybe one of them's harder, a little harder, one of them's softer. I don't know the exact difference in them, but they're not the same lines. They don't even sound the same. And you would think it's just square line, but no, it's not. I do like the line. I would keep one of each on my trimmer, and it would switch back and forth when I would run out, and I prefer the orange line. So out of these three so far that I've tested, the orange line would be the one, and ironically it's the one I have the most left on, but it's a good line. It's a good line. Now we get to the line that's the problem. So if you watch my video, you can just put it in YouTube and search the worst trimmer line on the planet. Was this stuff right here, and an 095. I had so many issues and problems with that line. I don't know what it is about that line. It would constantly get tangled up in the spindle, and I had people saying, oh, you're not using it right, you're not loading the trimmer correctly, you're not. Come on, guys. That's like going into the store when you're having a problem with your piece of two-stroke equipment and they insist that it's your fuel mixture when you've got 15 other pieces that run the exact same fuel mixture out of the same can, and it's not. So, but I'm going to tell you, you can see how much is left of this. I got so disgusted yesterday. I was on my last yard and I had 2 rolls of this on the trimmer. I ran out. This stuff doesn't want to go in the trimmer. It does, it'll go in, it won't load. And before you say, oh, you're not loading it right, how come I grab this stuff right here, the low noise, because I was so disgusted, it goes right in the trimmer, perfectly fine. The diameter of this is just like a round twisted line. And what's ironic is this stuff cuts, I like this line as far, it cuts good. It's got a good cut. It's almost completely silent. You know, the more line you advance, the hiss gets louder and louder. Not this stuff. If you get it out to a certain point, you can't hear it. In fact, I have to stop the trimmer and make sure that that I still have line. It's really weird. I cannot get this stuff to load in that trimmer. takes too long. I mean, one time I monkeyed with that thing for 5 minutes. I'm thinking something's wrong. Maybe I've got some grass or something clogged up there. I grabbed some of this, goes right in there. I never had any problem with any line in that Speed Feeds 500 head except this garbage right here. In fact, if you're in Atlanta or you're near me and you want, this is I don't know, 120 feet of this. I've used, I don't know, 10 feet or so. In fact, I threw it in the garbage. My spool's ready to go. I tossed them and they're in the garbage right now. But if you want this and you're local, come over here and you can have it if you use 0.130, because I will never use this stuff again. It is just bad news. I don't know what it is with this stuff. You know, I don't know. Anyway, so out of all 4 of these trimmer lines, this is the absolute worst. And then you would have this, then you would have this, then you would have this. Now, out of all these, this is still the king. All right, this line does everything good. This line, while it is very, very, very good and cuts the thick, super heavy weeds a little better than this, this line beats it as far as durability and just ease of use. It feeds in the trimmer perfectly fine, the head, and it cuts great on everything else. It does everything. It doesn't suck the trimmer down or anything like that. So yeah, these are the ones. And again, if you're local and you want this, you can have it. I don't want to throw this away. Somebody can use it. Maybe you can have better success with it than I do. But I have another different kind of trimmer line coming that I'm going to be testing. It is, well, I'm not gonna tell you all yet. It's a pretty big spool of it, so I'm gonna try it, see what it's like. But yeah, the low noise still my favorite trimmer line. And I don't know if you guys have used these in a 0.130 or even a 0.95. Give me your picks of what you think about it, and give them a try. You know, I really highly suggest this. I would not be opposed to having a big spool of this here. Yeah, probably wouldn't get this again unless I had to. I mean, it's okay. I'll get out a pair of scissors instead of using this stuff. And this stuff, yeah, I use it. I'm not a fan of round line for what I use. It's the stuff for it. It's not as good. I mean, it's still in the trimmer. Now, one thing about this is it doesn't fray. These other lines, as they wear, will start to fray. This just breaks off in little bits. So, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So, with that being said, I hope you guys are able to cut grass. As you can see, the sun is now starting to dry things up. So, I'm going to, in about 20 minutes here, get everything loaded and go do my yards. It's going to be a long one today. I'm going to be out. Hopefully, it won't rain the rest of this day, and I can try to get all my stuff done, because I've got like 5 or 6 bush jobs lined up that I have to get done. Got to cut my own yard here soon. But anyway, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.